I got something. So, did you hear the little bit of controversy that happened with the Back 4 Blood beta that was going on recently?
No, what happened with the Back 4 Blood beta?
So, there were two voice lines that the zombies did that constantly combined together. And people noticed it because it sounded like the N-word being said. So people were going on about, did they just have someone sneak in that little bit into the game saying the N-word?
We got an undercover racist?
Yeah.
Turns out, Back 4 Blood Studios?
People were saying, obviously people were saying that at first, but then it was just zombies going, it was, and then, gah! And then it overlapped together.
That's tricky. That's tricky. Oh, that's tricky. But those two lines would keep playing together?
Yeah, because, multiple times the sounds would always overlap because multiple zombies are making noises. It's just that pairing would happen. And it would
right,
usually
that's kind of funny.
It's pretty funny. And they're like, sorry, we're fixing it. Don't worry.
They're like, all right, hold on, we're gonna separate those two out.
Yeah. We're gonna maybe get rid of one of those audio files or separate them.
Did you see 343 confirmed with the Halo technical test that they don't know why the bots were teabagging players?
Someone did something.
They were like, that is not what they're like. We think they're trying to grapple over something, but are getting confused and crouching instead. That was not intentional.
No.
They were not supposed to be teabagging y'all.
It was some kind of coder or programmer or whoever controls that stuff doing that to do something a randomly generate that to do it.
It's not one of those things. It's like, well, don't fix that.
Yeah, don't fix that.
Don't fix that. That's funny.
Computers are usually just worthless anyway, comparative to actual players. So might as well just have them have that little bit of fun.
Yeah. Well, I heard some of those AIs when they because as the technical test went on, they leveled up the bots to make them tougher.
Oh, okay.
And I heard near the final day or two or whatever, those bots were forced to be reckoned with.
Because you were pretty much only playing against bots, weren't they?
There was an hour where PvP was live. And they didn't even advertise it. They just said, "Hey, it's live," and then they took it back. They were like, "Okay, that's enough."
Yeah.
Now
did that not go
back
well?
To bots.
Or they just?
I think it was just
a small test for themselves.
Yeah, I think it was purely just for them. Where they're like, "We'll let it go for a little bit so that whoever is playing and whoever happens to be online and has free time can jump in, but we don't want to advertise it because then people will schedule around it, and then we won't get it as much information because some people will be like, well, I'll just wait for the PvP or whatever. Something like that. Yeah. I hypothesize.
Doesn't really seem like a negative thing came from that at all. No. Testing. It is beta.
It's only been positive reactions from the Halo Infinite technical test.
Yeah. So surprisingly, going back to that Back 4 Blood, I didn't hear anything about that. The game itself. I think I would assume people were enjoying themselves. No one had any.
I haven't heard anything
things.
Either way. I think I read one impression that was pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, well, that's cool.
That's good.
I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, we know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
A fun co-op 4-shooter that's, based off Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
But maybe more difficult, more tactical.
We'll get a little Left 4 Dead game. Cool. I'm cool with that. I expect Back 4 Blood will be in our heavy rotation for a week or two. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be like, all right, that was fun.
Maybe pick it up every now and then.
Maybe. Yeah, as a little casual when we don't feel like,
I do. I am a personal fan of those kinds of games, so I'd probably be more invested in the longer run.
I don't believe you.
Dude, I'm still playing Vermintide. It's the same thing.
How? How are you still... When are you playing these games?
Not recently. I haven't played it recently, but I played it for a long time even after I completed all the stuff in it, because it's fun just whacking things. But
Gotcha. Okay.
That's beside the point.
Well, Connor, I think we should go ahead and drop some synths on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Say hello to the people, Connor.
Howdy.
And, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this show is all about the new video game news that's surrounding the industry. All the hot topics that we can pull that popped up in the week. Me and Connor here each bring to you 2 topics each, 2 pennies, if you will, and give you our 2 cents on them. You can catch the show every Monday, 8 a.m. I forgot to do my little fucking thing again. I'll just say it's about 4. It was about 4 minutes.
Yeah,
it was about 4 minutes. Monday, 8 a.m., youtube.com/2pennygamescast, or SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all those major podcasting apps. We're out there. Go give us a like, a follow.
Tavin,
yeah.
Yes, please do give us a follow, but just a little bit of a criticism real quick.
Oh?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I noticed you were a little bit late on the upload last week, weren't you? To my knowledge?
No.
Oh, I was going to make fun of you, but
no.
I guess I just got that notification later.
No. From what? From YouTube?
Yeah.
No, it was fine.
Never mind.
Fine.
Never mind.
I'll say
Jab taken back.
sometimes like the Spotify notification for me, because I have it on my phone for all of the services for when they go live, except for Apple because I don't have an Apple phone. For all of them, when they all go live, I have notifications pop up. Sometimes the Spotify or the Google one will like take 12 hours. It's just whenever their service pings the server and goes, oh shit, there's a new one, and then puts it up.
That's probably what it was then.
So might have been any of that, but YouTube should go live the minute it goes live, because at that point it's just on them to just put it up. Because I tell them, I give them all the data. They say, hey, we have all the data. I say, great. Here's the time I want it to go live. They say, great, and then it goes live. I will say though, the last episode, 2 days ago, the Kingdom Hearts hype video, part 2, I believe, was late because my internet was slow. And it took like 3 times as long to upload than it should have, which is strange. But my fault for not prepping and doing that ahead of time. Also, if you didn't know, we're doing mostly daily uploads right now of our hype series that we play over at twitch.tv/2pennygames. Hype, Hyep, Have You Ever Played, is a series where me and my good buddy Phil go live and do full plays all day, every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central Time, of games that one of us has played and the other one has never played before, and then we just kind of go back and forth on that. Right now, on youtube.com/2pennygamescast, you can find the edited down, split up into different parts version of Kingdom Hearts, the first time I ever played Kingdom Hearts, going live right now. We finished off Metal Gear Solid 1. Now I'm diving deep into the Kingdom Hearts stuff. And there's some funny stuff. There's a lot of stuff we're skipping through. A lot of time. That's a very repetitive game, that Kingdom Hearts 1, so we're skipping through a lot of it.
A lot of running around.
A lot of running around, a lot of fighting the same 4 enemy types again and again and again. A lot of... There was a time or two where we got lost. Even Phil was like, I don't know where we're supposed to go. This fucking Tarzan level is a mess.
Kingdom Hearts guy.
Yeah. And he's like, this Tarzan level is a mess. And I was like, this Tarzan level is a mess. But I've edited those parts down or out, whatever made sense at the time. And then it's there in a much more presentable, much more watchable, bite-sized, quote-unquote bite-sized, they're all like an hour plus long, way. If you just want to get the raw footage, if you just want to see our reactions raw, you can see them live over at twitch.tv/2pennygames. This week, we're finishing off the Mass Effect trilogy, Connor. Mass Effect 3, we're right there at the end. We just got to do the Citadel DLC, and then the end. It'll be Phil's first time adventuring through it. It's going to be a great, great, grand old time. Twitch.tv/2pennygames, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central Time. Connor, you're joining us this week.
I will be joining you, seeing Phil finish up this trilogy. So you can finally have another game to choose other than Mass Effect from your hype.
I'm excited, man. I got some games for him to play, man. I got some games for him to play. But we had to do the Mass Effects.
Yeah,
we had to do the Mass Effects, especially with those fantastic remasters with the Legendary Edition.
Exactly.
It was a great time. But back to the show, Connor. Let's go ahead and get straight into the news. Let's get straight into the pennies. My first penny, Connor! Call of Duty's back. Shocker.
We knew it was coming.
Who can be
like it
surprised?
always comes out.
Now, off the top, just because it has to be said, especially because we are fresh off the heels of all this controversy, Call of Duty, an Activision game. Let's all remember, Activision, pieces of shit over there, mistreating their women, mistreating their people of color, has to be said. Up front. Activision Blizzard, pieces of shit. That's all I got for you.
Yeah. So, if you don't want to buy this game, don't buy it.
Well, I mean, buy it if you want, because we still want to support those developers who have nothing to do with the overall problem of management and leadership and general being good people. But just has to be said, has to be brought up because it needs to be synonymous with every Activision Blizzard announcement until something gets fixed. And right now, doesn't look like anything's getting fixed. But
not yet, no.
We'll see. Overwatch League got canceled this year. Did you see that?
I know. I know. Our friends were upset.
Very upset.
Very upset. Understandably.
I mean, I said it in the chat. I think it'll be fine. Sure, it'll go away, but then Overwatch 2 will come out, and then it'll come back, and then it'll be big. And everybody will be like, oh, Overwatch 2, the new hotness, whatever. Anyways, Call of Duty leaks have appeared. Leaked Call of Duty Vanguard images show a return to World War II, pulling from a PC Gamer article by Jonathan Bolding. Leaked images accessed access via data mining of the latest Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War update, have given us our first real look at 2021's Call of Duty Vanguard, the Sledgehammer Games developed game that leaked in name only earlier this year. The new images support the rumor that Vanguard will take place during or near World War II. The images are labeled with 3 different editions of Vanguard, a standard edition, an ultimate edition, and a cross-gen bundle. The images leaked onto Twitter late last night, and Activision has actively taken those images down using DMCA requests. An image also purporting to show characters, operator skins, and weapons for Warzone has also leaked. The leaked images show a squad of 4 soldiers, all irregularly equipped, fighting in the environment with palm trees. There are lots of explosions in the background. The foremost soldier looks to be holding what looks like a British Lee Enfield rifle. To the right, a soldier in what appears to be a Soviet uniform is holding what is almost surely a Soviet Mosin M189130 rifle with a scope. The 2 other soldiers are shown in the background of one image. Both are distinctly equipped. Their weapons aren't clear, but one seems to be wearing a uniform and pouches reminiscent of British Commonwealth, New Zealand, or Australian soldiers. The other is wearing what could be a black or brown leather jacket. Where is it? That's it. The other is wearing what could be a black or brown leather jacket. Okay, cool. According to the leaked menu image, these soldiers might be Polina, the sniper, Lucas, perhaps the New Zealander, and Wade, probably the leather jacket wearing guy. They're shown using a mix of modern and World War II weapons. There's also a really, really goofy looking skin for what looks like the Soviet PPSH submachine gun, but it has a red dot sight on it. We'll keep our eye out for more Call of Duty Vanguard leaks in the coming days. So this is all probably true stuff.
Yeah. I mean, when someone like that takes it down, obviously they have a reason for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is kind of what I expected our first hints of what this next Call of Duty to come from Warzone or to come from Black Ops Cold War updates and stuff like this, honestly, because with Warzone being their new big platform in which when did Warzone launched with Modern Warfare, yeah? So Modern Warfare and then Black Ops Cold War, those kind of just being connected and both being in Warzone. I expect Warzone is just going to be the platform of Call of Duty, and then you can pay $60 for the rest of the Call of Duty experience every year, at least for the foreseeable future. Let's see how long until they're just like, we're just Warzone now.
Whenever they make less money, and they can revitalize it again.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, Connor, Call of Duty Vanguard, World War II.
We're not interested in it.
Dude, does anybody care? We just did the World War II thing. Like, you already did the nostalgic World War II, hey, we're going back thing. Like, and granted, like, Call of Duty has been it's such a long-running franchise. They've handled pretty much every era of war you can.
Yeah.
At this point. That's interesting, at least, unless you want to go to, like, some revolutionary, like, bayonet-wearing, equipped motherfuckers.
War of 1812.
Dude,
you got that.
How exciting would that be? Dude, the War of 1812. No, but I mean, like, I guess you could do World War I, but Battlefield already did that. But like
the Spanish-American War, that's what it's called.
Would that be interesting? Like, would be interesting?
They're not going to. They're just options.
Yeah. So like World War II, the Cold War, we've been a few times. Modern Warfare, we've been many, many times. The Future, we've been many, many times. There's only so many times before it's just like, all right, well, when do you just go full sci-fi fantasy shooter game, Call of Duty?
You know, this is one of those things. I think they really should just stop the new Call of Duty games. Just do Warzone stuff. You know, I remember we had those stories breaking about how Activision was just pretty much erasing studios to work on things like Warzone and Call of Duty stuff.
Shout out Toys for Bob. Shout out, all the Tony Hawk team. That got swallowed up. A bunch of other teams that got swallowed up.
Pretty much just Activision being a shitty company in every way, shape, and form, even before all the allegations came out. Yeah. Fuck this game. I don't care about it.
I'm not going to say fuck this game. I'm sure a lot of people worked really hard on it. But I just can't bring myself to care. And also, fuck Activision.
Yeah.
So, that's about all I got to say to it, man. Like,
that's all I got to say about that.
I don't know, man. I just don't see how this one is going to draw people in, especially because we're so late into the year now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Warzone is just a monthly topic of new Warzone updates and stuff.
Exactly.
And, new Tim the Tatman clips going viral or whatever the fuck. Like,
it really seems like also with the new Battlefield game coming out, that's going to scratch the itch people have for like a multiplayer game that's not Warzone. It's not a battle royale game. So I feel like that's where a lot of the attention is going to go rather than this game.
But I feel like that's only because Battlefield has started their press run and Call of Duty hasn't.
That's true as well. Well, I guess we could see in how interested people are in what this game is going to ultimately look like.
Assuming that this isn't part of the marketing campaign. Because
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them to be like, oh, we're just going to throw out some leaked photos or something like to maybe even get some heat off of them for the allegations that have been popping up lately. In which case, you're dirty as fuck.
I mean,
go fix your fucking studios.
Activision Blizzard have done that thing for a while. I mean, remember there was that the streamer who said "Free Hong Kong." He got suspended, and then they unveiled a new Overwatch character.
It was the Overwatch, and it was the Diablo 4 news and all that is to like distract and be like, hey, stop talking about this. Activision Blizzard has always been shit.
Yeah,
I keep hiccuping.
Breathe in slowly for 5 seconds, and then hold it for 5 seconds, and then exhale slowly for 5 seconds. There we go. Yeah. You don't have to do it in the mic. You can step away. They don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Well, they got to hear something, don't they?
Well, that's what they're hearing me urging you on.
What I do is I hold the breath and then I like try to force a burp. Usually that does it.
Oh, okay.
You know, but like I keep my mouth closed so it's like the burp stays in the throat. That usually does it. But we'll see if your tactic worked here.
By the way, if it doesn't, it's because I mistakenly didn't tell you to breathe in slowly as well.
Yeah.
But,
sure. Connor,
Yes.
moving on. Topic number 2. Penny number 1 from you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Evo Online had a tough week. Not even Guilty Gear Strive's netcode was able to sustain Evo 2021's online LATAM tournament. Pulling in an article from Sportskeeda?
I
don't know. By Prahlad Siddhavatam. That's a very different name.
Not one you've read before.
Sorry for that mispronunciation. Anyways, on August 8th, Evo 2021's Latin America Tournament Series was abruptly interrupted by technical and net issues during the top 8 stream for Guilty Gear Strive tournament. As a result, the rest of the tournament was conducted off-stream, and its exact happenings are shrouded in darkness. This has drawn a large amount of criticism from the community, which is rather conflicted about what exactly to criticize. One section is convinced that the responsibility for this failure is entirely EVO 2021's regional breakup. Others are convinced that the issue with the ISPs of regions like Brazil, sometimes it feels almost surreal that a major organizer like EVO could mess up an event of this scale, that some speculate this was a risk of EVO 2021 was trying to take as an experiment for their future tournaments. Then there's a tweet from EVO. Due to technical and network issues, we're unable to broadcast the conclusion of the LATAM Guilty Gear Strive Top 8. Broadcasts continue with Tekken 7. And this is from when shit went left. EVO 2021 online, the LATAM region breakup is either a bold experiment or a negligent oversight.
By the way, you can just say Latin America if you want. That's easier.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's Latin America.
Latin America. Oh, okay. It's important to note that despite their lack of experience with online tournaments, almost all of EVO 2021's other online tournaments were a wonderful experience for different communities. EVO 2021 online serves as the intermediate step for the implementation of their actual offline tournament that is normally held in Las Vegas. The intention was clear was to clear out the large process of pooling in an online environment to overcome the barriers of the COVID pandemic, whilst simultaneously making the tournament more accessible to the FGC across the world. A major problem arose in their tournament series for Latin America. Simply put, the regions that were included in Latin America were far too diverse to guarantee a stable online tournament. The regions that EVO 2021 Latin America includes are Bahamas, Cuba, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Colombia, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Ecuador, Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Chile, and Argentina. Excuse my American whiteness real quick. From this list, the problem becomes apparent. Mexico is part of the North American continent, so it makes no sense that they're grouped with regions of Latin America. Actually, that does make no sense. Why would you do that?
No.
On that note, Latin America is normally further divided into southern and central regions because of how large the region is. The division was also implemented for tournaments of few games that had a reputation of having only a decent netcode. Street Fighter V and Tekken 7, for example. But for games that have a reputation for having fantastic netcodes like Skullgirls and Guilty Gear Strive, there was a single bracket for the entirety of Latin America. Thus, it was this decision that led to the Guilty Gear Strive tournament having horrible issues whilst broadcasting. What happens during the Guilty Gear Strive tournament in the player's experience? Well, the account of every player that participated in the Guilty Gear Strive EVO 2021 Latin America tournament isn't available. There are, in general, two major opinions. The region breakup alone was responsible for the broadcasting issue. This is currently the most popular interpretation of the issue at hand. It's especially prevalent across the Mexican community, as they not only firmly believed that they should have shared the bracket with North America, but their players also appeared to have considerable lag against their Brazilian opponents. Mike Saftig, the runner-up at the event, took to social media to call the event EVO 2021 lag tam. Instead of okay, that was clever, buddy. You're good. All right. Second reason, the game's dysfunctional lobby system caused spectating issues, so the matches were fine and only the broadcast failed. The Brazilian community faced a lot of hate throughout the EVO 2021 tournament, with many labeling them solely responsible for bad connections. The country is infamous for having bad ISPs, and some even believe that they deserve a separate bracket altogether for fair matches. Whether they deserve a separate bracket is a point of contention, but what is for sure is that their connections this tournament were not as bad as people claim, and many Brazilian players had wonderful matches with people outside their country. This is especially important considering EVO 2021 took it upon themselves to research and ban players from using ISPs that had a reputation for bad routing. They optimized the online environment as much as possible. The winner of the EVO 2021 GGST Latin America tournament, Vernon Flo, is a Brazilian player who received tremendous hate for his victory, but the truth, to put it simply, is that many of his wins were deserved and he has tremendous skill. Well, it seems like some editorializing. Whether this fact remains true for all his matches is hard to tell at this point, but there is no doubt that his victory is well worth celebrating and with a great chance. Blah, 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 blah. What lessons can it... Okay. I think that's about it for right there.
You've talked enough. You sure you don't want water? Oh, there was no. You took that wrong. It was for your own benefit because you talked so much.
Yeah.
Because you had to.
Sure. So, in terms of like what is to be at fault here, it's probably a mix of a couple of things.
It was a storm that brewed. I mean,
yeah.
It was COVID. It was the reliance on the rollback netcode that
Exactly.
Guilty Gear Strive uses, which is, as opposed to delay-based netcode, usually works better the way it's implemented. So people really heavily relied on that. An error in deciding what countries were going to be in what bracket. Obviously, grouping in all those countries wasn't going to result in any positive outcomes or many at all. So it's unfortunate that a bunch of people were kind of shafted this year at EVO. It's a good thing that EVO is happening to begin with, considering that EVO was canceled last year.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was canceled last year, so people hadn't had it for a whole year. And something as big as EVO deserved to have at least some time in the sun.
So many different games are represented with EVO as well. So
yes.
It's a lot of communities, a lot of different gaming factions that are missing their big Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hopefully hopefully next year
I'm
they
sure
can do it in
next year
person.
all
Even.
this will be fine. We'll have some kind of fix for it. I mean, I agree. It's very strange that Mexico is included with the Latin America branch,
Yes.
especially like so many Central American countries thrown in there as well. That's
complicated.
It's complicated, man.
Yeah.
And you and I don't know anything about networking or how even the mysteries of the internet even work, but. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for us to just play with people cross country.
Yes.
Now,
going into this, the reason they did that was, like I said, Guilty Gear's netcode allowed very good play between people from like the United States all the way to Japan. Of course, that was made a certain way because Japan and the United States play a lot of Guilty Gear. It's one of their biggest audience bases.
So there's a lot of effort thrown into that backbone as well.
Not as much as in places like Brazil to the rest of the Latin American countries and Mexico to places like Chile.
Yeah. So, very interesting. Very upsetting, I'm sure, for a lot of people.
Yeah. There's still Evo events to be had.
I mean, yeah, the best we can just hope is just for an improvement next year.
Yep, and that all the other ones go smoothly.
Yep. Connor, moving on. Topic number 3. One of the more interesting, well, maybe not interesting, but unexpected moves that at least I thought unexpected moves that we have seen this week. Looks like some classic GTA games are coming back into the spotlight. A lot of the general theme of what is old is new again here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got Call of Duty returning with the World War II stuff again, of course. Yada yada yada. GTA here coming back, and then this is what we've been playing. I've got some old games that I'm playing, Connor. I'm playing some old games. I'm playing some new games, but I'm playing some old games. Anyways, Grand Theft Auto Remasters reportedly in development. Pulling an article from Polygon by Cass Marshall. Rockstar Games may be releasing remasters of 3 classic Grand Theft Auto games, according to a report from Kotaku. This remains unconfirmed, but the remastered versions of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are rumored to arrive on Google Stadia, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and mobile devices.
Why'd you laugh?
Google Stadia, man, and why?
What's
why
so
are
funny
y'all
about
wasting
Google
time?
Stadia? What's wrong with
It's
that?
a dead platform, man. We covered it on this show. That platform's dead.
Well, but the remasters are going to be on there. Obviously, it's not dead.
It's dead.
Got attention.
Nobody. Great. 0.001% of its player base will play on Google Stadia. Kotaku, and even those guys are just going to be like, I just want to see how it runs.
Yep.
How does it run? Kotaku's report suggests that the game will be a, quote, mix of new and old graphics akin to a, quote, heavily modded version of a classic GTA title. The UI of the games will be updated for clarity as well, though it'll remain the classic visual style. Gameplay is expected to remain as close as possible to the original iterations. These 3 titles are part of the, quote, 3D universe of Rockstar Games, which includes the PS2 era of Grand Theft Auto before the series moved into high definition with Grand Theft Auto 4. While these games aren't quite as fleshed out or involved as Rockstar's modern titles, they still remain classics. Lines from San Andreas, like CJ's, "Aw shit, here we go again," remain a popular part of the zeitgeist. Kotaku says Rockstar Dundee, a Scottish studio, is heading up development of these remastered titles. It's unclear when they might be released, especially due to concerns from COVID-19 pandemic, but it seems as though it will likely be in one bundle. Rockstar also reportedly has plans for a Red Dead Redemption remaster. We've reached out to Rockstar for comment, and we'll update this story should it respond with additional information.
Little strange that the people handling this are Rockstar Dundee. I've never heard of them before. I mean, not surprising that they have a studio in Scotland, but good on them that they're getting some kind of project.
Yeah, it's called Dundee, and it's a Scottish studio.
Dundee?
That sounds like some Australian shit.
It did.
Yeah.
I think, Tavin, you just a second ago were racist. Good for you. I may have thought it, but I never said it.
I have thought it, but I never said it. Closeted racism is still racism, Connor.
You can't tell it's closeted if I don't say it.
You can very often tell. Anyways, GTA 3, San Andreas, and what is the other one? Vice City. Yeah, those are considered the some would say even still the peak of Grand Theft Auto. Those 3 classic games from the PS2 generation when Rockstar was just banging out games left and right. Bam, bam, bam. You want some Bully? You want some fucking GTA? You want some fucking other weird shit that we got? Sure. Cool. All right.
Did you play any of them?
I fucked around with GTA 3 when it came to PlayStation 4 via the PS2 Classics stuff, which is, basically just like a emulated port of GTA 3. It's old.
Mm-hmm.
Old. That's all I
Old
had
game.
to say about it.
Yeah, I played Vice City on my phone. Now, I played it on my phone.
Yeah.
But from my experience, it was okay.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those games that seems like it's extremely outdated and looked at with nostalgia.
But for fans, it's great that they get these updated versions.
Yeah.
Look a little better. Maybe it'll play a little smoother. Maybe the controls will be up because my memory with GTA 3 is that when you get into a car, you didn't drive with the stick, you drove with the D-pad, and then you accelerated with X, which is not the common control scheme for modern day things. So maybe they'll give us some updated control schemes to where it'll feel a little more modern. I like the idea of an updated HUD, but keeping that style. So we're gonna put some actual polish. We're gonna put a little elbow grease into it, not just a quick spit shine. We're gonna put a little elbow grease into it. That sounds great. And it's great that we're getting this. We're getting some legacy titles with a brand new update, fresh coat of paint and all that, instead of just getting the typical ports that we've had for the last 10 years to every console ever. So, cool.
It'll be interesting to see what they look like, because they're very old games. A lot of room for improvement.
A lot of room.
Maybe they'll take some pages from GTA 5 and add some prostitute sex scenes in there.
No, they're not going to. Jesus
Who knows
Christ.
what they'll do?
Pretty sure those were already in the game.
Well, they weren't as visceral.
Oh, no, you're right. Hot coffee and all that shit. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I remember that was a big... I remember I watched X-Play back in the day, and that was a joke. That was being used a couple times.
Anyways, very neat. Unexpected. I'll be honest. Didn't expect that. Have we talked about this rumored Red Dead Redemption remaster before?
That is the first time I heard of it.
I feel like we've talked about it once upon a time, or maybe when Red Dead Redemption 2 was popping, it was a rumored thing, because they went back and they remade the entire map in Red Dead Redemption 2 for seemingly no reason. Mm-hmm. It's just there to play in, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a Red Dead Redemption remaster as well.
That's something I could get behind. I could see myself playing that.
Sure, especially if it looks comparable to Red Dead Redemption 2. Obviously, it's not going to be as pretty as that, but if it looks, kind of close, that would be great. Because that first Red Dead Redemption game is old.
Yeah, it still holds up well, but still, the graphics could use some updating. There's room for that.
I think the gameplay could use some updating, but I feel that way about every Rockstar game. So, anyways, neat, cool, can't wait to see more. Connor, moving on. Final topic. My final opinion of the day. Just wanted to do something that some news that went live last week. Literally the day of that last episode went live. Xbox Cloud Streaming is now available in the Windows app. This is a PC Gamer article by Wes Finian. Microsoft announced on Monday that its cloud streaming service Xbox Cloud Gaming is playable in the Xbox Windows app starting today. Excuse me. Xbox Cloud Gaming first became available on PC in late June, but only via web browser. Now, you can launch it from the same Xbox app used to browse and launch Game Pass games. The Cloud Gaming beta is available in the Xbox app if you're an Xbox Insider member and have a Game Pass Ultimate subscription. You also have to live in one of the 22 countries that the streaming service has launched in so far, which currently includes US, Canada, and UK, but not Australia. Cloud Gaming currently requires a controller connected via Bluetooth or USB, but hopefully at some point in the future it will also support mouse and keyboard. There are plenty of games on Game Pass like Grounded or Sea of Thieves, well suited to PC controls. The games are streamed at 1080p, 60 FPS from data centers, running customized Xbox Series X hardware, and the biggest draw is that they can load up your save file from whatever Microsoft device you've previously played on. If you've blasted halfway through Doom Eternal on Game Pass on your desktop, for example, you can now stream it from the cloud to a laptop in the Xbox app and pick up where you left off. Cool. Neat.
You don't use this function.
I don't use anything Xbox related currently, but that's going to change this next week with the drop of 12 minutes, and then after that, Psychonauts 2. So, I will very likely be becoming a Game Pass subscriber here by the end of the month. Which is something I've been putting off for a long time, and I probably should have jumped on earlier, because Game Pass, best deal in gaming right now. Xbox, honestly, just the best services in gaming. You know, being able to play on whatever you want, wherever you want, carry that progress back and forth, streaming. They're leading the charge on the streaming side, and they're doing it the right way by, the slow rollout. That we're gonna test our thing. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna bang out the little inconsistencies it has, and then we're gonna expand from there and just build from there. Like they're doing here with now allowing streaming through their Windows app. So very exciting. Xbox staying true, staying consistent, staying the course on what they believe the future of gaming is. And honestly, more power to them, man. I think they're doing this the right way.
Yep. I mean, we've talked about it multiple times. People have been really looking for that PS5 when they're trying to buy these new sets of consoles. But when it comes to Xbox's
if you have a phone, you can play Xbox games, bro.
You can that connected to PC as well. They're just making it so much easier to access their games rather than just putting it all behind one console that you would have to decide between. Going between that and PlayStation. Kind of eliminated that issue, which is good. Even though I really wish the PlayStation 5, I always forget this, had the feature that Xbox Series X does.
Resume.
The quick resume. very good.
I imagine that'll be coming within the next year or so. We'll probably get some kind of update to be like, hey, yeah, we have quick resume now too.
Yeah,
and everyone will be like, all right, cool, you're just copying Xbox.
But okay.
Because that's really like, I was listening to a podcast earlier when you came in. And it was a kind of funny. It was their Xbox podcast, which I never really listened to, but I felt like listening to it right there. And one of the guys on it was talking about how he's like, man, I'm playing like 3 different games, and I'm just jumping around like whenever I want, and I'm picking up exactly where I left off. Like it's almost as if I never put it down. And I'm like, man, that sounds cool. I want to do that. Meanwhile, I'm struggling to bounce between God of War and what else am I playing on this fucking thing? Returnal and Psychonauts and stuff, and I'm like, fuck, man, I really wish I could just bounce back and forth and pick up exactly where, not have to bounce back to a menu, have to bounce back to a checkpoint, lose, a minute or two of progress or whatever, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's one of those like slight inconveniences that we still have to deal with, that it's like, man, I can't wait for another 5 years or so where no one has to deal with this anymore. Much like, I can't even think of things like loading screens. How loading screens are now becoming a thing of the past. Or memory cards. And granted, storage is still an issue, but clearly with streaming, when streaming does take charge and does become the leading force, that won't be an issue anymore either. In combination with all these other technologies that we have, man, let me tell you what, our kids are going to be spoiled fucking brats.
They already are. We already are.
Or I'll tell you what. Remember when you had to buy an adapter to play online?
Oh my god, that was. Were those usually doled out by third parties, or were they usually
mostly third parties, like PS2 type shit? You had to buy a third party thing and then hardwire your shit into your router and shit.
Sounds to me like Sony was collaborating with some of these third party software creators.
You would think so, but then they fucked it up with the PSP and the PS Vita and the PS3 and just that era of gaming, man. I'm not happy where Sony went. And I'm not super happy with where they are right now, with where their SSD shit is at right now. That should be more compatible with current SSDs on the market. Why can I not buy a 2 terabyte hard drive with an SSD, Sony? Sure, that'll cost me $200-$300, whatever. Let me do that. Just let it work. I want to play more than 5 fucking games at a time, Sony.
No, you don't deserve that, no.
I don't deserve that.
No.
When am I ever going to get to this Final Fantasy VII, Connor?
No.
I need it on my hard drive. I want to bounce back to Last of Us 2, get that platinum.
Then beat some games and delete them off your hard drive so
I'm
you can download
working on it. It takes a while.
And then you got Psychonauts. You're just building work for yourself, Dad.
Psychonauts has been in my PS5 is about to enter rest mode in 10 minutes, dude. I have to say, I really should have turned that off because this is a very enclosed room. It gets hot in here quick. We've got a fan blowing at all mics I'm sorry if the mic ever picked that up. Anyways, Connor.
Tavin, I feel like that's Tavin's words, not mine. I am not a pussy. I can take it.
I am a pussy. I can take it.
I'm not. I said I'm not. I think I said I'm not.
I didn't hear the not, and I still don't believe you said that.
I think I said it. It came out.
You know what I was thinking? Of course, because it's me. The algorithm feeds me a lot of like Metal Gear Solid videos on YouTube and shit. I just watched this one called Metal Gear Solid 4 Was a Mistake. It came out like 3 years ago before Death Stranding even dropped. It's a fucking like 3.5 hour video by this YouTube channel that usually only makes like a minute long videos.
Really?
Yeah. It's like the second to last thing this channel did before it died. Like there's no more, like he hasn't uploaded in over a year. Anyways, I've been watching that for the last 2 days of his like breakdown and analysis of Metal Gear Solid 4 and plot synopsises and stuff, and then like personal opinions and shit. And I was like, man, this is really fascinating. And it had me thinking of what the future of Metal Gear could possibly be. And I got some ideas, Connor. I got some ideas.
Oh, yeah?
I might make a video on it. I might know where a good Metal Gear Solid 6, the direction of the franchise, could be taken. Step 1, get it away from Konami. Step 2, don't let Kojima write it. Don't let him write it. He can be involved. He can be like, that sounds like he can give his little blessing or whatever. Great. I think that's even better. Don't let him write it.
He seems done with Metal Gear.
He should be done. Let me tell you what. He wanted to be done. Metal Gear is a franchise that should have never had sequels. Mm-hmm. And then it had 7. So.
Hey, he got 3 from that, though, so you're not going to complain.
Well, it just happens that one of them is the greatest video game ever made. And several others are also phenomenal video games.
Well, I saw Steak Bentley. Hopefully he's good.
Oh, you found it. That was quick. Yeah. Anyways, it was a great video. Shout out to Steak. Hope you do like some. I would like to see what he feels about Death Stranding. I want to know what he feels like because I feel like his opinion is going to be very interesting. Anyways, Connor, that's it for the news. Let's jump into what is always fun, what we've been playing. Connor, what have you been playing this week, buddy?
Well, a lot of my time has been spent playing, when I have been playing games, Xenoblade Chronicles. So I talked about that last week, or the week before.
Something like that.
One of those. Still going along with it. Still getting into the story. As far as gameplay mechanics, nothing has really changed. I had already gotten to the point where everything was introduced. Being able to, see into the future so you can stop certain attacks from decimating one of your characters.
JRPGs, it takes a long time to get all these mechanics down.
Not this one as much. Not really.
Oh, really?
It kind of feeds it to you pretty quickly. Because it's a very story-focused game. Very heavily story-focused.
I played, what was that game called? Scarlet Nexus for like 2.5 hours, and I feel like I still haven't learned all the things that game has to tell me.
That seems like a very technical game.
I don't know if I'm ever getting back to that game.
But you liked it, but...
I liked it. I did. And I wanted to. I got distracted. It
Right.
didn't play as well as other games I've been playing. Also, I'm busy playing games from 3 years ago to 15 plus years ago, so, there's that.
Yeah. The other thing I touched on a little bit, but since that was the main game I've been playing, that's kind of where my games I've been playing this week ends. But I've touched on Splitgate a little bit, where I know you'll have a lot more to say about it than I will.
I will.
It was okay. Tavin kind of talked me into giving it a bigger try based off what his experiences with our friends have been like.
You gotta
now
jump,
that he's got more time on it.
Man.
Yeah, because I was, it wasn't really a challenge at any point in time. I will admit one thing that's probably not going to improve is the gunplay isn't satisfying to me. It's not bad.
Are you insane?
Yeah, I never felt accomplished getting kills. Maybe
Okay.
That'll change if I get more hands on it, because I only played it for like an hour. Like I said,
Sure.
the style of the game's pretty bland and generic.
Oh, I could not disagree more.
Kind of too Halo-y.
All
Too
right,
Halo-y.
all right, here I'm
That's
jumping
it.
in here.
And
I'm
the
jumping
alternate skins that I've seen suck. But go on. Like for your character.
I don't 100% agree with that, but I don't 100% disagree either.
You can
Anyways,
okay.
so I'm going to jump in here. I've put easily 10 hours into Splitgate. Splitgate 4v4 arena shooter. Not even just straight up a ripoff of Halo. Not even pretending to be anything else. Literally, weapons are the same, game modes are the same, feel and design all pretty much. It's Halo, baby. But it's your classic arena shooter where you start out with some basic weapons. And then on the map, you'll find stronger weapon pickups and so forth. So, like your rocket launchers, your battle rifles, your instead of like a gravity hammer, they have a bat. I forget what the actual name is, but it's a bat.
Yeah,
instead of a
yeah.
hammer.
Haven't even used it yet. Is it good? Is it useful in any capacity?
You can get a couple of solid kills out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And the big thing about Splitgate here is that it's Halo plus Portal. If anybody's ever played Portal, it's a puzzle game where you put portals on walls and you jump through and you're bouncing around and stuff. So basically, it's your classic arena shooter with the gimmick of you can shoot some portals around and instantly teleport yourself around the map really quickly and use it to get some really fucking sick kills. And I'll tell you, Connor, I don't understand what you're talking about with this gunplay not being. Oh, dude, this gunplay is fucking perfect for me.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and I was like, well, let me give it a try. And then when I didn't feel the same way, I'm like, well, this is going to be a point of contention.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude, because it feels perfect. Because it's, I'll take the assault rifle, which is one of my favorite guns in the game. In Halo, the assault rifle is like your generic, like that's your baseline weapon. Like you're pretty much using an entire clip to kill someone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In this game, the difference is like where you shoot your opponent matters, and the time to kill is lower than Halo, but it's faster than Twitch shooters like Call of Duty or even Valorant and stuff like that, where it's
definitely more than Counter-Strike
or like Rainbow Six Siege or any of those things where it's like just a quick one-shot thing. No, you still have to nail your shots, but the time to kill is lower than Halo. It's lower than Apex Legends. It's it's a nice middle ground. It's exactly where I want it to be, where it's like I feel like firefights last long enough to where if I know I'm better than the other person and they happened to get the drop on me either by portal placement or they turned a corner and my back was turned or whatever, I can react quick enough and pull ahead and win that firefight. So it's just that perfect timing of long enough to react, but short enough to where it doesn't feel drawn out, to where like a common issue with Halo, at least some of those older games, is like you'll be in a fight and it takes so long to fucking kill that another player will come around the bend and finish you off. In this game, it's not that way. No encounter lasts longer than maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you know? Whereas like Call of Duty, it's like a half a fraction of a second, and then in like old Halo games, man, you can be fighting a motherfucker for 5 seconds before one of you dies.
Yeah.
Not the case at all here. And I really, really fucking love it. I think damn near every gun feels great to use. I don't like the carbine, which is like one of their basic, the
DMR.
It's your DMR for Halo fans or whatever. It's your single shot rifle gun. It just doesn't shoot fast enough for me. I think the number of shots to kill someone is correct because it's like 3 headshots or like a couple of body shots or something like that. And then one thing about this game that's different than Halo is that there's less emphasis on melee attacks, and there's no offensive grenades. All the grenades are used is to shut down portals. So like if you see an enemy placing portals in strategic positions or whatever, you can throw a grenade at it real quick and shut that down. Or you can use it to like if you see a player hop into a portal and you know they've made a mistake because there's like 2 or 3 of you there, you can bust that portal down so they can't hop back in and escape. You know, you just fucking throw it, and then bam, now you're stuck with us, motherfucker, and you're dead.
Which is I like they put that in there because just being if you were just to uninhibitedly be able to just put up portals anywhere, and you can't really do anything about it, they're just there. It is good to just shut them down.
And then to return to the de-emphasized melee in Halo, unless you have a power weapon, you can pretty much if you can get close enough to a guy and get your 2 melee hits in, you're probably going to win, or at least you'll tie every time, where both of you knock each other out. In this game, leading with a melee is a bad idea. Because if they're landing headshots with any weapon, they're going to kill you first. Just because the time to kill is lower. So whether it's the pistol, whether it's the assault rifle, whether it's fucking any other weapon with low the SMG or whatever, they're going to kill you. You're gonna leave them hurting, but they're gonna kill you. So like I've seen like a lot of players like they'll do like the one punch and then pop with the headshots real quick. I've seen my experience is best to just get your headshots off. Just fucking lay into that head. They're right in front of you. It's hard. It's gonna be hard to miss. Just lay in those headshots. If you're feeling a little nervous or something, you're like, oh man, maybe I'm not getting these headshots as perfectly as I can. Get a couple in and then melee, because that'll be faster than punch and then reset animation and then punch again. And then man, the portal gimmick breathes so much life into these arena shooters that I have not felt since I played Halo originally. I've not been this excited for a shooter in a long time, and it's a large in part to do with the fact that it's an arena shooter, so it's already speaking to my personal tastes when it comes to first person shooters. But the portal mechanic in that adds another layer to it, to where if you're smart and if you're quick enough and if your map knowledge is solid enough, sure, some player on the enemy team might be wicked with the sniper rifle, and he ran straight for it and grabbed that. But if I'm smart, I'm dropping portals right behind him. I'm dropping it beside him. I'm bouncing through portal. He's not landing a shot on me because I'm moving too quick for him, and I'm closing that distance, and I'm, now the advantage is in my hands, et cetera, et cetera. I've played so many matches where, like, there's a great moment in a domination game I played the last time I played where I was outnumbered. It was 2-1. These guys had full health. I think I just finished a fight. I was at, like, 75% health or some shit. There's a box in the center of the capture zone that you can put a portal on any side of the box. And then, so I put a portal on that box, I put a portal onto the wall next to me, and I hopped in that shit. They didn't know where the fuck I went. So they rounded that box to pincer me and fuck me up. And then I jumped through, and you can also you can close either portal at any time. So you got 2 buttons dedicated to placing your portals and 2 buttons dedicated to closing either portal. At first I was like, you just need to close one portal because it shuts off that gate anyway. But if you're smart and you close off the portal that they're rounding the corner and seeing, they don't know where the fuck you went. If they round that corner and see that portal, they'll go, oh shit, he portal, look around. Find where he went, because he has to be somewhere within eyesight. He either fucking dipped, or he's still here and he's still a threat. But because I jumped in, closed the portal that they were encroaching on, they didn't know where I went, so then they were just looking at each other like, what the fuck happened? I kill one, I set another portal up, I jump through, that discombobulates the other guy, fuck, where did he go? Shit. And then I get that guy. It was fucking great. I felt so empowered to do that. I've been dabbling in the ranked modes a little bit, and that's where people get smart. And portals are popping all the fucking time. And if your portal usage is not as good, if you're not shutting down your portals with those grenades as quickly as they're shutting down you, if your aim is not as good as them, they will dominate you. So it's really, you have to be firing on all cylinders. You have to be spinning all the plates, the portals, the guns, the power weapons, positioning. All of these things have to be included. One thing to get real nitty gritty with the portal mechanic is when you place your portals, you see through the portals. You see where it leads and where it came from, etc., etc. So like, if I place a portal on a wall and I place one behind me and I look through the portal, I see the back of my head. If anybody else does that, opponents or teammates, it's just a blacked out portal. There is visual differences to tell if that portal leads somewhere or not, that you just kind of have to learn what they look like. It's usually like it's grayed out or it's black. If it's black, that means that portal will lead somewhere. If it's grayed out, that means it's just a single portal. It's not going to go anywhere. So you're just walking into a wall. You can shoot through your portals. What's funny is you can even kill yourself. Because like there was a time just for fun where I was like, let's see what happens if I kill myself. And I shot a sniper rifle into my own head, and I was like, all right, I killed myself. That was funny. So it's blacked out, which means the enemy can't, like, if you can use that as to change sniping positions. So like you can set up a sniper nest anywhere on the map where portal placement is a thing. So if you grab a sniper and you put a portal into like a real high area with lots of visual coverage, and then you can go find yourself a corner, put a portal down, and then now you're in a hidden little sniper nest that nobody knows you're there. Granted, as soon as, bullets start flying through that portal, they're going to be like, oh, he's shooting through the portal. In which case they will either A, throw a grenade at it, shut it down, which is the safe bet. But if you put your cursor over the portal and an enemy is standing on the other side of it, your cursor still turns red, so you know they're there. Mm-hmm. And then you can shoot them. I've gotten so many kills off of that where I'm like, oh, you think you're smart? And I'm just laying into the portal, and I'm blind firing, killing somebody through their own portal.
Yeah. I mean, if they're aiming from the portal, they can only be so... They're usually in front of that portal, so you can pretty much...
Yeah. I mean, there's like small things, like you can hit it from the side or whatever, or you can back up a little bit and, become a harder target to hit, etc., etc., etc. And at the end of the day, you are shooting blind, so there's no guarantee of like whether you're hitting headshots, whether you're hitting body shots, etc., etc., etc. If you're hitting them in the foot or the head or whatever. I will say, my personal gripe about it right now is that the collision wall for portals is too small. It's too definite. It needs to be widened a little bit because I'm having trouble getting into my own portals.
Yeah, I've had that problem before.
Yeah, like my knees will catch it. Like if it's not on, like if the portal is not touching the ground, I'm having trouble jumping into it.
Yeah.
So I just need that widened just like a few centimeters. Just make it a little wider, just so it's easier for me to get through.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Oh. And then especially playing on PC, just being able to fully customize my controls and stuff. Connor, on PC, what is like the default like thing you use to switch weapons?
The scroll wheel.
The scroll wheel. I don't do that for SplitGate.
1-2?
No. Yeah, 1-2 might do it, but I think I have it's attached to a mouse button.
Aha.
And you can only carry 2 weapons at a time, so there's no real need to have it any other way. But portals, I have set to the scroll wheel. So if I'm planting portals with a quick little thing, just so I don't have to move. I can keep my main fingers on my WASD, so my movement is never compromised.
That makes sense.
And so I've got melee, weapon switch, and portals all tied to my mouse. Nothing has to move. I got it. It's what I think is the perfect setup. Which I'll complain. The default control scheme on PC, at least, terrible. Mm-hmm. Fucking awful. Like, just doesn't make any sense. You're all over the place. I think it was like Q and E to set your portals, and then Z and X to turn them off, and then like crouch was something weird, and reload was something weird, pickup was something weird. It was just a bunch of, I think pickup was V. Is that right? Pickup weapon with V?
It might have been F.
I couldn't tell you. I don't think it was F, because I think I've switched it to F. But I think it was V initially. But I could be wrong. Anyways.
No, I think V was melee.
No, F is... Oh, you're right. V was melee. F I have switched to grenades, because grenades are usually always on G, but I don't like reaching that far for my grenades, so I switch it to F in every game. But you're right, melee was V. So yeah, I've switched pretty much all my controls around to fit my own playstyle, and oh man, it's so exhilarating, it's so energetic and fun and fast-paced, but not so fast where you can't keep track of the action. Especially in a game where shit changes quickly because of portals. Oh man, I cannot wait to play more. I want to grind out some ranks in the ranked modes a little bit. My biggest gripe about ranked modes is that the default loadout is the carbine and the pistol, 2 weapons. Not my favorites. But maybe it's just a thing of just like, I'm just gonna have to force myself to get good with the carbine or something. Woo!
A lot to talk about with Splitgate.
Also, lots of customization. Weapon skins, armor skins. You can get different jetpacks. There's a jetpack, by the way, for double jumps and stuff.
Which I actually almost talked on that. It's a good way. It's not a movement-based shooter, not like Titanfall. So
No.
But it is a good way to make it more beyond just having a sprint, so you can get to higher places easy.
And I'll say, when I first started playing, I was like, man, I really want to slide, and I want a clamber, being able to clamber over things. That's how I felt about the first hour or two, where I was like, man, this would almost be perfect if I could just slide and if I could just clamber over and mount over ledges and stuff. Now that my map knowledge is better, my movement is better, and my control is better, I actually am kind of glad those things aren't there. Because it adds another layer of skill with traversal to where, instead of in Halo 5 and now in Halo Infinite where you're just making jumps left and right, it doesn't really fucking matter. Now you have to be making your jumps, especially with the jetpack. In Halo, there's a single jump.
Yeah.
It's a big jump, but it's a single jump. With the jetpack, if you're not making that jump, come on, dog, you're kind of an idiot. And, it allows for so much more play and tactics in just positioning and movement, and I fucking love Splitgate, man. Easily in my top 10 this year already. And I'm just going to continue to play more.
Well, hey, did it come out this year?
It didn't come out this year technically, but it's been in beta for 2 years now or something like that. It came out 2019. Still in beta now. But I was reading some articles that they're hoping to have the 1.0 out by this month. They're hoping. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. If we get a 1.0 this year, it's going in under my top 10. If not, then it just missed the boat and it might just get an honorable mention or some shit. Or fuck it, I might just put it in because there's no way in hell I was going to know about this game before this year anyway. Because now it's popping.
It could be like Among Us. Treat it like that.
But I only put Among Us in an honorable mention last year, didn't I?
But you still, did you deny it because of that reason?
Because of that reason.
Ooh.
But it came out.
2018,
Among Us was out in 2018. Splitgate has been in beta for 2 years.
But it's still in beta now.
See, yeah, and it's still in beta now. So I think it really just depends on when that 1.0 drops.
Yeah. I mean, if it drops, it'll be in whatever year it comes out as
it's
top
on
10.
PlayStation, it's on Xbox, full crossplay.
Basically not in beta then, at the same time.
Yeah, you're mostly not in beta. The beta is just mostly just a thing. It's really just... I really just need some type of roadmap for content. How often are you going to drop new maps? How often are you putting new battle passes in the game? Because I'm already nearing the end of the battle pass. It's a short battle pass, to be fair. But how often are you updating that? Is there a better way to unlock cosmetics? Because I'm not seeing a really easy way to unlock cosmetics. And I wish I was unlocking them a little faster. I've gotten one different armor skin. I've gotten a few jetpacks. One, you've got a little attachment on your wrist for the portals. And I've got one obnoxious little pink portal gun on my wrist.
You don't like it?
And I use it just because I have it, and it's kind of funny to see it's this badass armored up super soldier, grays and yellows and shit, and then he's just got this obnoxious pink fucking wristband. Anyways, and then so many skins for weapons, lots of them look great, some of them look pretty generic, but none of them look bad. There's skins in Valorant that I'm that skin looks like shit. That is just a mess of a skin. None of them look bad here. Granted, it took some time for Valorant to really put out some bad skins. Whereas, this game, I don't even know. But they've got a lot of great skins. They've got a guy on the loading screen, looks like a fucking hamster. I want to play as a hamster man. How do I play as a hamster man? Splitgate?
I can't remember that.
It's on the next time you load up, it's on the loading screen.
Yeah.
It's he's right in front. Anyways, I also learned via their Twitter, if you're doing that, in Classic Portal, where you're building up momentum by falling through portals and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do that in Splitgate, your melee turns into a one-hit kill.
Huh.
But that takes some serious map knowledge and planning and skill to do. I haven't seen it happen once.
Right.
And I think I've used portals to build momentum 3 times, and it's usually only to get across a jump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rarely is it on purpose.
Oh, okay. But have you gotten you've never gotten the melee kill that way?
Oh no, I've gotten many melee kills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course I get
way.
melee kills. Not that way. No,
Yeah,
I haven't
okay.
gotten the one-hit kill. No. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, and they also don't have the one-hit punch in the back. I do kind of wish they had that from Halo. Just a little bit, though.
Assassinate people. Yeah.
Not so much the assassination. It'd be nice, but not so much the assassination because the game is so fast.
Oh, well, I mean, like the assassination aspect of it.
Yeah. With the one punch in the back does it. Yeah, I do kind of wish that was there. You know, but if you're punching a dude in the back, you're gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah, he won't be able to turn around.
He doesn't have time to turn around and get enough headshots in. He doesn't.
It's pretty much a touch of death at that point.
Absolutely. But anyways, Splitgate's great. You're fucking crazy for being lukewarm on it. You need to come play with us. Granted, to be fair, the first hour, not even an hour, first like 30, 40 minutes that we played, it's obviously skill-based matchmaking, and we hopped in and we were just fucking clowning on whoever these fucking simpletons that they were matching us with. Literally, like, if the goal for winning was 50 points, we would go 50-3.
Mm-hmm.
It is now no longer that case. Now, like, we've had several games, like, time out because the game just went too long. Because, you know, we were playing King of the Hill, and the Hill was swapping teams too quickly, and, you know, it was contesting too quickly, so we timed out. Or Domination, we've had games go that same way. SWAT, we've had literally come down to the wire several times. Shout out my man Fergus. Nasty in SWAT. Just fucking disgusting.
He always likes those headshots.
Dude, he was AFK for the first, like, 2 minutes of a game, and then fucking trounced. I mean, we lost the game, but he fucking trounced, and he went from, like, when he finally plugged in, like, our team had, like, 7 kills, and then, like, within, like, a few minutes of him playing, we had gone up to 20. Just because he was fucking laying them out. Like, that man knows how to click heads.
Sounds to me like you guys lost because he wasn't on the controls right
No, we
from the get-go.
would have lost anyway. We lost by, like, a difference of, like, 10 points.
Oh, okay.
So, like, we would have lost. But it would have been closer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so shout out to my man Fergus. No, that man knows how to click heads. That man knows how to click heads. Anyways, other than that, Connor, I've been playing 2 other games that I'm just going to breeze through really quickly because I don't have too much to really say about them. Axiom Verge 2 shadow dropped this week. I'm playing it on Nintendo Switch. Axiom Verge is a Metroidvania that came out years ago. I'm going to say 2015, 2016.
And did you beat the original one?
I did not, but I put 12 plus hours into it and loved my time with it. I think I just fell off. Something else came out and yada yada. I was playing it on Vita at the time. And I remember Axiom Verge just having really fun to use weapons. The environment was... And the environment and the atmosphere was super inviting. I wanted to peel back those layers, and I wanted to get through all these locked doors and stuff. They would have this aesthetic where, like, walls would glitch out and stuff, and you would get abilities to, like, unglitch these walls and destroy them and so forth. That was really, really cool. It had, like, some kind of, like, alien futuristic tech vibe to it. It was real dark. It was real grungy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Think like Collectors from Mass Effect 2, but, like, red and kind of bloody. More bloody, you know, really sick looking like shit in that game. Really one of my favorite games that came out that year. Fucking loved Axiom Verge. This one with the sequel, it is not speaking to me in the same way that first one was.
Is it the tone isn't just not? It's
the tone
different.
Is different. It's
one?
a brighter game, like a lot of bright instances, which makes sense. It's a snow aesthetic as opposed to like some kind of like weird alien tech aesthetic. Like you're in the mountains somewhere, like kind of Celeste type thing, and I just don't think it's working for the vibe of this game. You're fighting machines instead of like weird alien shits, and instead of like cool guns and stuff that they're starting out with. I mean, you know, most Metroidvanias to start you out with like your simple blaster, and like maybe you'll get like an upgrade for the blaster, it'll make it better and stuff, and then you'll get a shotgun and a machine gun and a, you know, cool electric gun or some shit. Like you'll get like an assortment of weapons that are really cool to use. This one they start with a pickaxe.
A melee weapon, huh?
Yeah, melee weapon. And it doesn't feel good to use. It does not feel good. Second weapon I found is a boomerang. Feels better, but it's not putting out the damage I want.
These are weird weapons.
I know. I don't feel powerful exploring this thing, and I understand it's early and I'm not supposed to feel powerful, but even in the first game, like, with the first weapon, I felt like I could do more than what I'm doing with these weapons, and I'm just not enjoying it. It's also using this weird thing where instead in the first one it was just like you're picking up new alien weapons or whatever. You've got this new technology or whatever. This one it's more spiritual. Like you're picking up like spirits, and those spirits become your weapons, and they become your abilities. It's very strange. I don't know how I feel about it. It's very text heavy for a Metroidvania. Just the franchise always was this way. The first one was kind of text heavy for a Metroidvania as well. And yeah, this one, the writing isn't speaking to me. It's not nearly as charming. Like, the first one was super tongue-in-cheek and, like, would make fun of itself all the fucking time and added a nice, campy lightheartedness to an overall dark and oppressive game. And this one, I'm just not feeling it. It's a little too straight-laced. It's a little too, straightforward. And it's just... I want to say I'm going to give it more time to see if it'll warm up to me, but I've played 2 hours already, and at this point I'm like, if you haven't grabbed me in the first 2 hours, I don't feel the need to go through and force myself through another 5 of a game that I just don't find interesting. I'm not going to call it bad by any means, but it's just a turnoff. Like, I'm just turned off by this game. I load it up and I go, just.
Yeah, looking at some of the screenshots, it's very noticeable, because I typed in an Axiom Verge, and because 2 just came out, there's a lot of screenshots for that, and, as well as the old one.
Yeah.
Very different tone, and they don't look as interesting. You can tell the drop in quality from original
I don't want to call it a drop in quality.
2.
It's just a difference. It's just different, and it's just not. It's not working.
It seems like it's got less of a style, like a generic snowy place versus really weird, dark alien construct.
And it feels that way. It literally all it's instead of inspiring me to play more of your game, you've inspired me to go back and load up the first one and play that one.
That's not the goal. That's not the goal.
That's not your goal. You shouldn't be doing that. So who knows? Next week I might be like, I'm playing Axiom Verge on my Vita again because I'm bored. Anyways, so yeah, that's that. Oh god, I just remembered what's coming out next week. No, not a chance in hell I'm playing Axiom.
No, it doesn't seem like that at all.
Anyways, other game I've been playing, I loaded up Psychonauts 1. Like I mentioned several weeks ago of how I wanted to play Psychonauts 1 before Psychonauts 2 came out. I'm finally doing it, jumping in. It's fun, man. It's charming. It's old. It's 2005, 3D platformer, PS2 game, and it looks it. Ooh, boy, does it look it. Clearly, a Double Fine game. Clearly not, the biggest budget, but it still feels pretty good to play. The platforming is solid enough. The combat is solid enough. But just overall, the real charm comes from its atmosphere and its characters and using your psychic abilities and so forth. And the building of your psychic arsenal is really fun. And I can't wait to unlock more powers and stuff. I'm only 2 hours in or whatever. I'm arguably still pretty early. But I've unlocked the power to set things on fire with my mind. That's fun. I like setting things on fire. I punch, and I've got this big extended hand with a psychic punch. That's fun. The double jumps and platforms and cool little diving into people's minds and their cognition, basically, to steal terminology from Persona 5 and how they see the world and so forth. It's very, very fun, and I'm very excited to continue that journey.
It does look like an Xbox game.
It's old, man. It's old, especially when you're in the game. The actual gameplay, the lighting is not great. The shadows are weird. It's not when you're in the cutscene mode. The cutscenes look dramatically better than the actual gameplay. And the cutscenes still, I think, hold up fairly well. There's some really goofy and cartoony designs of some characters that are really charming and fun to watch and stuff. But yeah, I could definitely see why this game had so much reverence, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part it still holds up. But there's just some elements where it's just rough around the edges, and it's ugh. Yeah, 2005,
yep.
and it's not the biggest budget 2005 either, but it's a solid ass game, and it is making me excited to play Psychonauts 2 later this month.
Good.
Connor, that is going to be it.
That's all
for the Two Penny Gamescast episode 56. Remember, you can catch us every Monday 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, or your mainstream podcast services, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. Am I missing one? No, that's it. Your usuals. Give us a like, give us a follow, rate us them 5 stars, all that fun stuff. Drop some comments if you like. Share it with your friends, man. It really does help. If you want to see us play video games live, you can go follow us at twitch.tv/2pennygames. I've been streaming Splitgate all fucking week because I cannot get enough, and I figure I might as well stream it as I've been playing. It's just really is a blast, Connor. You should hop in with us this week, man. I don't understand what you mean when you're saying it's a simple game. You're insane. Anyways, that's beside the point. You can catch us live twitch.tv/2pennygames. Also, every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central Time, we go live with our Have You Ever Played series Hype with me and Phil. We're finishing up Mass Effect 3 this week. If you just want to catch the YouTubes, we're working through the Kingdom Hearts 1 episodes right now. The one that just went live this last Saturday is probably my favorite part that I've put up so far, just because the editing was so much fun to put together. The ending is pretty funny, and these are some early streams where we were still working out the kinks, and it has like the least amount of technical issues yet. All of that, I imagine, will improve and will get better as, one, my editing skills improve, and two, the technical issues lessen as we continue. Anyways, that is going to do it for this week's episode. Everybody have a great week. And until next time, Connor, say goodbye to the people.
Bye.